Good day, gentlemen and ladies. Today we're the 23rd of April. It's the Passover day. It will be a very beautiful, however, cold day. This morning it was -8 Celsius, and tonight it's gonna be -8 Celsius. And they also calling for light snow during the incoming week. So I'm not going to put my summer tires or doing maintenance on my car. However, I will remove my snowblower on my tractor, and that's what you're going to see. Now, just before that, what I would like to tell you is it's something that I just start last week on my dog with my dogs, Scotty and Ruby, and I will inform you that. All right, stick around. All right, so what I've done is I already feeding them with I'm not paid by that, by the way. I wish. No, it's a very expensive dog food, but that dog food contain a lot of nutriment good for the old puppies, old dogs, where those nutriment contain a lot of it's called glucosamine, and I've been feeding with that since my arrival here, because right away, even when I was in Shefford, I was feeding with good food. But this one is more expensive. Why? Because there's more nutrient towards their, let's say, their joint pain relief, anything like us, where as we getting older. However, in the case of Ruby, he's like sometimes he really have problem like her difficulties of walking, and so I talked to the veterinarian. What they recommend me is take he even told me, and in the food store also, I said don't buy the one at the we know it's too much expensive. Just buy the one you sell at the normal pharmacist, and with a regular strength. It's called glucosamine. And now both of them are on it since a week, and for Scott it didn't change anything because Scott doesn't have yet any problem. He can walk, I mean, no problem at all. But Ruby, after an half an hour of walk, he's got enough. He's starting to drag his rear paw. And with these, within 2 days, I can already see a difference. He was starting to like a horse, like doop, 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 doop. And before he was not doing that. So, and now it's been a week, and I can see he's moving more a lot in the house. And just a point for you information now. I'm not saying buy and start with that. Consult with your veterinarian what type of dog you have. But for my two dog golden retriever, they're 11 years old. They're not over fat. They're like, I mean, I walk twice a day with them. I give them good food. They have plenty of water. Water is the vital factor. I change the water bucket twice a day. It's very important to have their so they can flush themselves very good, hydrate. It's very important. So now they're important for me, and we know that golden retriever, well, usually they live roughly around 13 years, and that was always the case for me. I had golden retriever before, but yeah, I just to give you that. Now enough talking. I'm gonna do the snow blower removal. Aren't they lovely? Yeah. All right. So please take care of yourself. Yeah, they're good boys. Go, yeah. All right. Cheers. Now, despite of the cold weather that we have, like right now, it's -4. The sun instead of rising from there, it's rising from there. And instead of going down from there, it's going down from there. That means the summer is coming up. All right, let's go inside. Good day, gentlemen and ladies. Before disconnecting the snowblower, I always do like you do a pre-use inspection, a pre-use daily inspection, or make sure everything is working before you're using it. Well, this is the last inspection before I disconnected, so please do take the time to see what is the battle damage of using it during the winter. And you look at the attachment, if it is all the bolt nuts are tight, is everything the wire in good order, is there a sign of corrosion or excessive wear. And now for my snowblower, like you know, I pour oil coating all the time. If, like I told you, I use it and then I wait until it's dry, then I cover it with oil so there's no corrosion all around. I can show you in closer view if you like, you just ask me, but all the turret mechanism, the snow thrower, all the connection, the only place where I have corrosion, it's inside the drum, because of course I have a crush rock, not wash rock, a crush rock, and it does once a while that cut in the propeller chute, if I call that. So no, I'm not gonna paint yet because it's too cold, and what I want to do this year for the drum, just stick around. No, I don't want to open the garage door because it's cold right now in the garage. It's 10 degrees Celsius. Now inside the propeller, I painted before, I think I did that in October, but that's where the surface of the drum, oh, I don't want to do that. Jeez, it's full of oil. Anyway, the surface of the drum, it get wear down. So what I'm going to attend this year, it's covered with the epoxy. The same stuff that I use for the mower deck. I ain't gonna cover it. I'm not gonna paint it. I'm just gonna put right away epoxy sealant, the same I use for fiberglass, and that will be a very smooth surface. And I'm going to do that later on. Okay, so. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. The only place where it's battle damage is that. All the rest, and as you can see, it's all very well oiled. So I have no corrosion whatsoever, nothing. And that's why it paid off at the end of the year, because it's for protecting your investment, because these things are not cheap, all right? During the 3 months where I don't use my snowblower, I'm gonna swipe off all the oil on the top of it, like I already started on my sleeve. The reason why I'm removing the oil is because it's gonna stay in the garage, it's gonna be dry, and also it's not gonna collect dust coming from various welding project I may have, or just simple dust. The reason I put oil during the winter is because there's a lot of snow coming in the garage, condensation now, and also oil. It's a good way to clean it. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to swipe everything and the excess of that oil, and that will be also a good way to inspect if I have any damage and stuff like that. So I'm going to do that. Alright folks, gentlemen and ladies, as you can see, I just finished to wipe out the entire snowblower, and I discovered nothing. Basically everything is clean. I removed the excess oil. I had some rocks stuck in that compartment, and this I keep it always oily and greasy because that's where the snow gets trapped. So corrosion may occur there, but everything is fine. Under, everything is good. Now you're gonna, why didn't I did not use a pressure washer. I do have a pressure washer, by the way. It's a Honda, it's a very good class one, but I only use it against cleaning concrete. So my honest point of view about pressure washer. Well, I learned that when I was working on maritime patrol aircraft as a maintainer technician, is these aircraft are always flying close from the sea surface, and they're exposed to a lot of salt. So yes, we had each aircraft was basically completely washed every month to remove all the excess salt from the engine intakes, various surface of the aircraft. But we wash it with a proper soap, which was a non-corrosive soap. Most of soap, by the way, they are corrosive. Just for your information, do your own research, you're gonna find that. But the soap used for washing aircraft, they're less corrosive, but we need to rinse it very well. So yes, so we were pressure, it was not pressure, we were basically applying soap, then brushing off, and then a good rinse. But after that, and before, we had to cover some area with sensitive, mostly it was electronic or air intake to cool the aircraft. So everything was taped, protected, or completely removed. We have to remove a lot of stuff. That was the CP-140 Aurora. For you American folks down south, it was basically your P3's Orion. Now this aircraft, after we were completely washing and remove, before reinstalling the part, we were oiling them and grease all the zerks, which was quite an extensive 8 hours with a crew of 15 to re-grease, remove all the water from the anything for the like the zerks, anything movable part, and we were oiling them to remove all the water up there that may cause corrosion, and it was also for protecting. And then we do a ground run up. And at the same time, we were also washing the inside of the turbine engine with a proper soap, and then we're doing a dry run. So that being said, now you can wash it, but just make sure that you completely dry it and then re-grease everything. I have a video, like I showed it to you. The only time I put water on it, it was on the lower part, like Joe, where we were removing all the big amount of wet ground stuck into the tractor. But after that, I clean it with a nice rag and I put a coat of oil. Oil in the summer will definitely attract dust. It will stick in there. So in some place on the aircraft we were using graphite. So like when you go in the desert for any weapon, you use dry graphite. And but for me, that's my honest point of view. I never pressure washer because it's hard on the electrical connection. It's hard on the surface because the soap is corrosive, and you need to rinse it very well after. And when it's rinsed very well after, you need to oil everything to expel the water from every crevice, hole, or where the water may stand there. So for me, it's easier to put on the tractor and everything around my garage. It's easier to keep it oil and swipe it once in a while, like the dust coming from the exhaust of the engine. Yes, I do have dust, but like I showed you on a previous video, I just have to wipe out because I keep it oily. And that's it. So this is my honest point of view about like all the electrical component of this the chute for the snowblower. It's oily. If I had to put pressure washer on there, like you're asking yourself for trouble. There's gears in there, transmission, condensation, and everything. So by keeping it oily, you protect it. Now, this is my honest point of view. Use it for what it's worth. And yes, I rather keep it pouring oily and working for many years. I have no corrosion at all. And they're so expensive. And it's way more easier to oil and then swipe with a rag, then start to wash it, then swipe it, then put a coat of oil, remove oil and everything. Now here in the Saguenay region, just for information, if you think you have salt in your place on the road, you should see what they put here. They put three things. They put a mix of sand and salt. Sometimes it's only salt, and sometimes it's like a gravel, like a small rocks, because sometimes the salt is too cold to work. So they just put that little gravel, small screening, and that caused damage big time, especially on the highways. So yes, in this environment here in the Saguenay region, you really have to keep your thing oily, so or greasy, or a combination of both of them. So yes, definitely. So let's do the deconnection process of the snowblower uncoupling from the tractor for this year. All right. Just a small trick like that. Why I'm keeping my seat always in the up position and the hood always open is because when I do grind or when I do any welding, if the seat was like that and the hood was like that, and I have a hot piece of steel, it's gonna melt on the top here. Keeping it like that, it will fall down. Of course, it's gonna fall down in the engine, but the engine, it's not that bad. I mean, for the it's used to heat. Now the seat, that's another ball game. You want to protect it. So by doing this like that, you're in business. So let's throw the tractor outside, do an A-ball turn, come back, and then I'm gonna drop the snowblower on his rolling platform. All right. I've got to say something. Is the hood on the Mahindra? It's not the plastic. It's steel. But I don't want the paint get damaged, so that's why I always keep it open. And I always do an engine oil level check, so that's why also it's remind me, hey, before you start the engine, check the oil. So I use this platform made of 3/4 hard plywood, and I'm gonna use that as a reinforcement because that snowblower is quite heavy. So I'm just gonna put that on. Alright, so there's a little leg that I need to put down to stabilize the snowblower towards that way. Let's do that. This is the little leg right here. I don't know if you can see it. This is the little leg like here. So I'm going to remove the pin and put it down like that. Then I'm going to lock it in place like so. And of course, because it's oily, everything's going slick. Alright, so before dropping, I'm going to put another piece of wood there to have a better support. So these are the leftover from my former deck that I built when I was in Shefford. It's still very well hydraulic oil coated. There's no sign of going bad, I tell you that. Okay, so let's drop that puppy. You're going to see that in slow motion. Everything is good. Center. So far so good. All Alright, let's shake it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is disconnect the top one. So let's disconnect the electrical connection first. Oh, I need a small screwdriver. Un petit tournevis. It's a tough one to disconnect, I tell you that. There we go. And also from the female and male part, I put dielectric grease. So it's a grease which is a conductive to electricity, and it preserves that from corrosion, as your information. Now I'm gonna need a pair of cutters to remove the tie wraps. So I'll get the cutters, side cutters. There we go. So we have an electrical disconnection. Now I'm going to disconnect the top link here. All right, it's a tough one. Oh, I can see some pressure down. There we go. So I'm just gonna put back the washer right away, and this. Alright, so the top link is disconnected. For this, I'm just gonna put it down like that. Now I'm gonna put the remover on each side. Just gonna put it there for now. Then do the other side. Of course, the pin are oily, so it's slick to remove. Alright, so nothing is mechanically connected to the tractor. I only have the P2O shaft to disconnect. Now the PTO shaft, there's a pin I have to find. Did I have to mention to you, you make sure the engine is not running when you're playing your hair? Common sense, right? Where's that pin? I'm going to find it. Up right there. There we go. All right. All right. Just like that. So just going to slowly disconnect it like that. That's it for now. All right. So the snowblower is disconnected. So what I'm going to do is I'm just gonna inspect the inside of the PTO shaft. Everything is good. Already, by the way, I already re-grease it, so I don't need to grease it for the summer. I'm not gonna use it. But what I'm going to do is remove the excess oil on the PTO shaft shroud, protecting shroud. Okay? All right. Once the PTO shaft is clean, it's a good time also to inspect the safety retaining chain to make sure these all the purpose is make sure that the shot is not spinning at the same speed that it's stable. It's for protecting you not going to get tangled up with the PTO shaft. And so what I use is I have many of these left over, so I'm just gonna hang up like this. I'm just gonna put it like that, like so, and at the correct level, and just bend it like that, so that way it's not gonna fall down. And I'm just gonna put the shit and here to make sure they have no dust coming in. And it's a good idea since I have the Zerk right there to clean it. The PTO shaft, by the way, you need to grease it. Most of PTO shaft need to grease it around every 8 hours of use. So and then I simply cover it with a nice rag like that. That will stick into the PTO shaft, and it's not going to have any dust in there. Now for the snowblower itself, I'm gonna put it on the side, and later on in about mid-May, when the temperature will warm up, I will make another video like on the mower deck, how I'm gonna put the resin, basically what stick the fiberglass sheet together, and yeah, inside of the drum of the propeller who throw the snow. So I'm gonna try that this year, because as the year pass, of course the drum get wear out from various objects, and having that coat will definitely help, or this will reduce greatly. This the urethane, not the urethane, I forgot the resin. It's not the proper word, I will put it down on my video, but that will act as a wearing scuffing pad basically. And every year, I rather put that every year, and that's it. The drum, the integral structure of the integrity of the snowblower will remain intact. So I think that will be it. If you have any question, please ask. Any Mahindra owner or snowblower owner, please ask me question. I'm very happy to answer my best of my knowledge. But what I do also is I give you the references. Alright, so enough talking, and have a good week. Thank you very kindly for your support, and please do take care of yourself, of your family, and enjoy life. Cheers.